You are listening to an original message from the reader currently known as Jason Ashanti McDaniel of Madam Jason's Tarot. Dear spirit guides of the highest benevolence, only those that are able to help out with the reading, please help out. And then when you're done, you're not earthbound, you could go back to doing whatever source appoints you to do. Please deliver the most clear, concise, synchronistic, and accurate messages for the Cancers in my tribe. Let's catch up on present and future energy during this fire horse year of 2026. Whatever they need to know right now. Please bless those that bless me, curse those that curse me. To anyone sending me or my tribe negative energy, may that energy be returned to sender 3 times fold immediately. Amen, Ashe, and thank you very much. At the bottom of the deck, we have Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pentacle energy. Earth energy is also about stability and grounding too. For sacred symbols and oracles, we have Divine Feminine, jealousy. Of course, somebody would be jealous of a Divine Feminine. Or already what I'm getting, this possibly, I could be wrong, this possibly could have something to do with a soul tie. And there's 2 twin flames, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, in separation. And maybe the Divine Masculine has a jealousy issue. Maybe they fear that someone's with someone else, whether they are or they aren't. Nature spirits, I was going to comment about how good it feels to be outside. I usually take walks, but I just need to like sit outside more. It's just very peaceful. But with nature spirits, you might be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities that have to do with plants or animals. Like for me, my family, we moved from a crowded apartment to this house. And one thing that I noticed about this house is that we have jasmine flowers all over in the backyard and just around the neighborhood. And there's a lemon tree, but there's no lemons in it right now. And the first thing I thought when I saw that is, oh, this is perfect for me to do some sort of spell work, because jasmine is used in love spells or self-love stuff. And then lemon is usually used for protection stuff. So and since we've been here, I've been seeing spirit guide animals like a cat. I was going to say a squirrel. There's a squirrel right there, but you guys can't see it. And I was tripping one day because I literally saw a vulture. I live in California. Stockton's kind of interesting city because it's like valley girl energy, country energy, and urban ghetto energy all at the same time, because it's people who used to live, a lot of people that used to live in the Bay Area are here. But I was tripping out because even though Stockton's kind of country, like when you think California, you think beaches and stuff like that. So I've never seen a vulture in real life at all, I don't think. And I never would have guessed that one would come to my backyard. I saw a raven the other day when I was walking to the mall too. So vultures and ravens, for example, they're usually seen as Scorpio energy, 8th house energy for one. But usually, you know, my mind automatically went to death. But the death card in tarot, for example, represents transformation. And it could also just represent a new beginning. So for some of you, you weren't really animal people before, but maybe you have, since you've become spiritual, you've been appreciated animals more. Or maybe you've always liked animals, but even animals that you used to hate, you're looking at differently. Like I used to not like flies because I thought they were monitoring spirits, but flies could be symbols of transformation too. And I don't kill bugs the way how I used to. The only time I kill a bug is if it's like, it's poisonous, or if it's like a pinchy bug or something like that. But we also have courage here as your last card for sacred symbols and oracles. I think it's kind of an interesting combination. They all seem like separate themes, but we're going to see how it comes together. I definitely can see how Divine Feminine and jealousy come together. But as a side note, with the evil eye, you can have evil eye jewelry. You know, some of you need to buy it because you have so many people sending you negative energy, but I feel like this reading is going to resonate with someone who already has it. And I'm not sure what the lightning bolt or courage has to do right now, but if you're into Ifa, something about Shango could be significant. Usually when I see lightning bolts, to me it's like a synchronicity that someone's going to get an idea to do something. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have red hair here. What I'm hearing is what's at the bottom of the deck is usually what you don't see or what you haven't thought about or considered. I'm hearing that someone, if you've been deciding whether or not you're going to dye your hair, there are a lot of different colors or how you're going to color your hair. There's a lot of different colors that you've been thinking on, but I think you're going to go with something that's reddish, whether it's like Ronald McDonald, Rihanna red, a more natural red, burgundy, ginger, something like that. And of course, free will is involved, but this is the fire horse reading. So this is something that could have already happened or you were thinking about it. So that's one way that you can tell that this is your reading. But we have white, brown hair, and age range 76 to 94, which all came out together. We have average physique, but what I get mostly out of this card is someone just being frustrated. So with that card and evil eye, maybe someone's holding a grudge against you. We have straight hair, and then we have dark skin tone and feminine. So I always comment about how this card looks very uncomfortable. I don't know anybody that would cross their legs this hard. So I usually get gender dysphoria with this card. And just because someone was assigned female at birth doesn't mean that that's how they identify. So in some cases, this might represent transmasculine, non-binary energy, or something about you may identify as a divine feminine on a 5D level, because there's a lot of other queer people in my tribe collectively, all zodiac signs. But I also feel like something about performing femininity or coming from a culture where you had to, for example, I grew up Baptist, so we were into like wearing slips and shorts and all this stuff. Women taking all these precautions to ward themselves against usually men that would take advantage of them. And that was never the problem. The problem was that we don't teach people about consent. It doesn't matter how well behaved you are, how fully dressed you are, things can still happen. So there's like an energy of resentment that I'm feeling with this reading. Also, I'm looking at the last two oracle cards, nature spirits and courage. You could come somewhere where it's kind of like thunder and lightning right now. Maybe you saw like a lightning bolt hit a tree or something. You might want to sage too, because I'm looking at the olive color in this card. And first of all, sage is Native American, so it reminded me of that one scene from Pocahontas. But it's a spirit in the tree. So with evil eye and nature spirits, maybe some of you really have a need to cleanse your energy. Being that I think it's you who's the divine feminine for most of you, it's like you're already a high priestess. You already know how energy works. So I'm sure intuitively you might feel like you have a lot of haters or a lot of people are sending you negative energy, but I feel like it bounces off of you. But still, you take safety precautions. Ooh, I'm seeing, I haven't even done the third column or the third row yet, and I'm seeing framed. So did someone try to accuse you of something this year? Or do you feel like that's going to happen? Someone might be mad at you about something. Back to the twin flame energy that I was feeling as well for the scenario. Maybe if you're a divine feminine or divine masculine, they're trying to find ways to still blame you for the breakup or whatever happened or the separation. But we're going to have to wait for the tarot to go further into that, if that is one of the scenarios in this reading. Because for some of you, we're all on different journeys, right? With people who have soul ties, especially twin flames. So for some of you, maybe your twin, your divine masculine, is still in that energy of being mad at you. But for some of them, it's like they're still trying to transform with that, though. Okay, I see poems and also write. I was waiting for a P because I was already kind of seeing that word forming. You could be a writer, but I'm picturing Knight of Cups, Page of Cups. So who knows? Maybe somebody wants to romantically reach out to you, or someone's trying to woo you right now. Okay, I see BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color. I see, ooh, okay. I didn't want to say this. I was going to keep it to myself, but I see BIPOC women and I also see Dems. And I'm trying not to put political stuff in my readings, but I do feel like someone might possibly be a bigot because I just feel that way. There's so many different marginalized groups here. Some people might not like kids because I see kids here. You could have a kid. I see ace, so someone could identify as aromantic or asexual. I know that's not for everybody, so just take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, another word that I saw ever since I started putting the tiles together is kids. So we have this physical feature card with older people in it. So this might be an older person that wears kids. Someone's mother or grandmother could be mad at them too. Mexican / Mexico is in the tiles. So there might be a person who doesn't like Mexicans too. And I don't want, just because I'm bringing it up doesn't mean that that's how I am, but I do feel like there's a person who's kind of prejudiced. I've been channeling a lot of movies and shows ever since I rebooted the channel a few days ago. And so this is giving me like the energy of, not Hacksaw Ridge. There was a movie that we watched in film class in college, Gran Torino. Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood, or if you like to read, if you've ever heard of the book A Man Called Uwe, which both of those books, or both of those forms of entertainment, are basically about like a curmudgeon, old, prejudiced white guy learning to befriend people who are different than them. So that's what I'm feeling. Someone could be from California. I don't know why, but I'm looking at LXABOC and I see LA, I see abstractly Cali, stuff like that. Friends, maybe someone who's mad at you, or maybe your twin flame, especially if they've betrayed you a lot in the past, like really hurt your heart. They want to start over probably, but they want to be friends. What else did I see in there? Twin flames is in the title, so that's confirmation. We're just gonna roll with it. Someone's name could also be Jackie. I'm gonna stop there and get into the tarot. I'm seeing bisexual. Sometimes LGBT comes out in the tiles, but sometimes it's like very specific what type. So definitely, a common way that women can still be divine feminines, but differ from what is traditionally seen as feminine in a superficial way, is by being queer. I also see lesbian here too. Once again, I know that's not everybody's representation, but I do readings for all kinds of people, and I don't like to compare myself to other readers, so I'm not like doing this for a clout thing, but just for like a ethics thing. I don't think that queer people should only be brought up in tarot readings only when they're described as being karmic, because a lot of other people, the only time they talk about queerness is to make a bisexual person look like they're confused, or if your person is in a karmic relationship with a trans woman, just because they have discovered that they are interested in people like that, does not make them, the person that they're with, evil or crazy just because they're in the LGBT plus community. Queer people are only brought up in most people's tarot readings to basically try to use a scenario to make the reading more interesting, or give someone an excuse to add in their own personal negative beliefs about a group of people. Saying all of this because someone who this reading is talking about is queer, and maybe there might be a Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood type person in your life that is realizing that they should stop stereotyping groups of people, because I have a feeling that they might be mad at you, but I think they like your energy. Okay, so for tarot, at the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Pentacles right now. That's going to change throughout the reading. Knight of Wands in the reverse. We have Six of Pentacles upright. Page of Cups did come out, but it's in the reverse. So the two people cards in the reverse right now, it's looking more so negative than positive. But then we have Two of Wands in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles upright. So all of this reverse upright people energy to me looks like someone having a hard time making up their mind, especially with Two of Wands in the reverse. We have Leo, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Aries, and Virgo and Capricorn. Knight of Wands in the reverse. So this is a fire horse reading. So whenever it has come up in the upright, I always tell people, you know, the momentum is good for them right now. Cancers, your energy this year might be a little bit of everything, a little bit good, a little bit bad. Nine of Wands in the reverse can represent a lack of enthusiasm. It's usually stereotyped as the player in the tarot deck too, but I don't know. I don't have any feelings about it yet. We have Six of Pentacles upright. So this represents fairness. It could represent getting, being in a good financial situation. You do have Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck where you're able to pay off bills, or because Divine Feminine, and this is a Cancer reading, you're basically the Queen of Cups, or whoever this reading is talking about. So it's like you give $2 to a homeless person outside of Target, or you give your little sister $5, and it's like you'll get that back in some way, in some shape or form. So you've been having a lot of good luck and a lot of rotation with money. But even if you don't make a lot of money, or if you feel like it goes fast, it's because you're in an abundance frequency. That's why it never runs out for you. Page of Cups in the reverse. This could represent a hater, or it could represent someone who is envious, resentful of you. They have a bone to pick with you, but they're not saying anything. It could also be a romantic person that wants to reach out to you, but maybe they don't know how to relate to you, or maybe they're just shy or embarrassed right now. So I do want to use Emoji Oracle later, because this might be your ex-twin flame too. Page of Pentacles upright. This might be your financial situation. You may not have a lot of money. You could have just recently finished school, trade school, college, whatever, completed a course, picked up a new hobby. You may not have even a lot of supplies to do this, especially if you want to make this monetary. But the thing about the pages when they're in the upright is the passion is there. The drive is there. So that's good to see. And that came out with Two of Wands in the reverse. So I like to look at Two of Wands as the should I stay, should I go card. And when it's in the reverse, it's kind of like you've already made your decision. Or it could also be a lack of decision making. So it's still very vague. I have some ideas about what this reading is talking about, but it's still kind of vague. So let's start clarifying. And we're at 21 minutes, so I'm going to have to slow this down so I can add more stuff to it. But what is this Knight of Wands in the reverse referring to? Ten of Cups reverse. Pisces energy, family energy. Ace of Wands reverse, Seven of Cups in the reverse. Okay, I need a little bit more. Temperance. You know what? Honestly, it's still kind of vague to me over here. But let's look at this abstractly, not literally. I don't feel family energy right now, even though Ten of Cups is a family card. I always talk about how Ten of Cups has a rainbow in it. So that does just come out sometimes for LGBT plus energy, especially because Ten of Cups is like, besides the Sun card, it's like the ultimate happiness. So I usually see that as like a queer person who's very proud, very sure of themselves. Happy Pride Month, by the way. With the Ace of Wands in the reverse, sometimes that could represent like violence or hatred. Temperance in the reverse is obviously anger, an unregulated nervous system, stuff like that too. Seven of Cups can oftentimes represent confusion. So being that it's in the reverse, I just feel like it's that curmudgeon older person who might have had certain beliefs about your community, especially if you're LGBT plus. And maybe a lot of times people project their own confusion onto you too, especially when you're bisexual or pansexual, which I believe is in there too. But it's like with the Seven of Cups in the reverse, someone's trying to understand something from your point of view now. And I hate to say it, but I experience it myself. Knight of Wands in the reverse is kind of seen as the player in tarot. So being that that came out before Ten of Cups reverse, maybe someone thought you were hypersexual just because you're queer. And maybe with the Ace of Wands in reverse, you could be celibate or something like that. And someone completely changed their idea of what a person like you is like. Six of Pentacles. We're clarifying Six of Pentacles up right now. Nine of Cups in the reverse. Selfishness, lack of fulfillment. Okay, I am feeling like this older person, you could work for them. And I feel like with Nine of Cups reverse, Ten of Cups reverse, this might be like a care home thing or live-in care, CNA, something like that. And I don't think this person likes their home life. But I think that this might be a person that's well off too with the Six of Pentacles. I think that they've given you a lot of money or a lot of resources because of that. I do feel like this person feels like you're very fond of them. And this is completely left field from what I just said, but I'm also slightly getting the energy, not that I condone this, I'm slightly getting the energy that this might have something to do with sex worker energy too. This might be an older man that has money, that gives you money because there's something about the way how you make them feel emotionally. There's a lot of cups here. That's a very shadowy storyline that I'm picking up on, but it is what it is. You know, I used to pick up on stripper energy all the time. Like 2 years ago, the first time I began doing this on YouTube, I used to pick that storyline up all the time. But, you know, just because someone is in that industry doesn't mean that, you know, they can't be an empath or they don't have qualities outside of that. I don't know how you met this person, but there's different variations of storylines, so just keep that in mind. Because I'm looking at this oracle card and it does seem like this person is their wife. This could even be a person that has a passed away wife, or there's something about their family life that is not very happy. So whatever it is you do to them, regardless of what your occupation is, this is a person that I feel like has given you money before and they've helped you out a lot. They're fond of your company more than anything, really. Not even your services, whatever they are. So let's clarify Nine of Cups in the reverse. Death. I was talking about the Death card. And the Death card, 9 times out of 10, does not represent death. But I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is also a confirmation that for some of you, this older man, his wife might be dead. But the Death card represents transformation. So maybe this person is kind of on their way to passing on. With nature spirits, if this is something that already happened, you might be feeling their energy around you, because spirits do get attached to people. And if you don't want that to linger around you, that's where all this smudging and stuff like that needs to happen. Let's get a little bit more clarity for death, though. The Sun in the reverse and Nine of Swords upright. Oh, don't like it. This is severe depression. The Sun card is the happiest card in tarot, so it being in the reverse is not good. And then on top of that, it came out with the anxiety card. So I definitely feel like you are not talking to someone right now, and I think that, unfortunately, the end of their life is not going to be too joyful. And respectfully, you might have just moved on because you had to, because your life moved on. But this person is not really doing so well with you. A lot of their joy came from being around you. So even if this person is going to pass into the afterlife this year, just be aware of the fact that their spirit is going to be attached to you or be attracted to you. So, you know, cleanse. And you could still love this person. Like, you could have pictures of them, a memorial and stuff like that. But just like, if you're not entirely disturbed by their presence being around you, still like try to, you know, have candles and stuff like that to not have them be around you so much to the point to where it prohibits you from living your life right now. And honestly, I think that's the reason why you went away from this person in the first place. Page of Cups reverse. Queen of Wands reverse. For some of you, a variation of this story that I'm getting is this Page of Cups reverse, Queen of Wands reverse could be this person's wife. And I don't really like to think about situations like this too hard either, but it came out in the reading, so it is what it is. I'm a Cancer. I rule fourth house in astrology, so I value the institution of marriage, but sometimes I'll do readings or hear readings where it's like the person who this person is married to is kind of seen as the bad guy, and I'm not really trying to point fingers or anything, because all of us in this situation have shadows that we have to heal. But if you are a mistress, someone's wife is basically saying really derogatory things about you behind your back. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Queen of Wands reverse is kind of like Jezebel energy, and I'm not saying that's who you are, but even if you're completely innocent, because framed is in the tiles, someone is trying to accuse you of being that. This is crazy. What else? Page of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, they could be there's a synchronicity of immaturity here, but I also feel like there's a huge age difference thing going on. Or you could be like very grown, and this could be a woman who gets off to calling other women little girls. And with that feminine card that I was talking about, where someone looks like they're performing so super hard to be diplomatic, I know that to be true when it comes to Black Baptist culture. So that could be your energy. With white and dark skin, I do feel like this is a white-black thing when it comes to the older person that likes your energy and gives you money thing, storyline. Yeah, someone could be bedridden, someone could be disabled. This could be confirmation for me picking up on someone working at a care home or having some sort of CNA related job. Okay, Two of Wands reverse, Page of Pentacles upright. If you work for this person, you might have left them for a job that you felt like was better, and it may not necessarily be because of the pay, but because you had a lifestyle change with the Death card. Because if we're talking about a job with Page of Pentacles energy, that's not like a pay raise. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. You could be dealing with a fixed sign, because I do see major arcana for Leo, Scorpio. We have Taurus energy here. Yeah, so this could be confirmation that you didn't take a new job offer for the money, but also this person who's severely depressed, like they feel like they've had nothing but bad luck after you left. And I'm seeing the Moon card here, so someone is really struggling with anxiety. This older person could have some sort of crown chakra neurodivergency too, like they could have dementia, or for some of you, I do feel like they have dark triad personality traits. This could be like a narcissist empath dynamic. This person really look to you as being their source of joy and their source of energy. And I know even if you're very sweet, that could be draining for you. Let's get some closing tarot. I want to know more about this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay, yeah, I don't have to say anything else when it comes to that, because now we have another anxiety card. Eight of Swords upright. So someone's basically going stir crazy now that you are gone. You could even be taking time off of work, or you're just tired of being in situations where other people are expecting you to do their shadow work, for them. Someone's name could be Jacob. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 rows of the emoji oracle, and then I'm gonna end the reading. The top row is going to be how you feel about this situation. The bottom row is going to be how this person whose energy you have walked away from feels. So for this reading, I was mostly getting the energy of like a older person, younger person dynamic, but the side energy is also a twin flame dynamic. You could see this person's name, either one of these people's names in the tiles, and that could be a confirmation. So this is the top row. This is how you feel. Dash, left in the dust, fleeing, running away. Exactly. Just in it to score. Wow. Okay. So somebody has some shadow energy who this reading is talking about. You could have just picked up a gig for the money. And even if you bonded with someone after you completed your goals, you really didn't have any other reason to be there. And this is especially Lilith energy when it comes to you, if you do resonate with, being a sex worker, like just in it to score. You can listen to a lot of female rap music because I'm feeling like Meg the Stallion energy. We have disguise, wearing a mask, not being honest. So you do have framed in the tiles. I don't think you're completely heartless. So this could just be someone feels like you were not being honest with them from the get-go. We have a confirmation with lightning, unexpected illumination, realization. So maybe it hurt this person, metaphorically, like a strike of lightning, but you had to have the courage to walk away, because Cancers, we're very sweet, we're very empathetic. So sometimes one of our shadows could be people pleasing. So I think you've already, tried to heal that. And then we have anxious, fear, anxiety. So I think maybe you feel fear and anxiety too, but I don't think it's for money. I don't think it's because you don't like your life right now, because we did see 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck at some point. Maybe you just feel fear and anxiety because you abandoned someone and you might feel like they're mad at you or they're going to try to retaliate. So the bottom row is how this person feels. Okay, this is reversed, but my deck is all over the place. So we do have clown, foolish, idiotic, selfish. Honestly, both of you can feel this way about each other, whether it's a twin flame situation or like taking care of the older person situation. Okay, we have discreet secrets, gossip, sneak peek. So this person is talking shit. But we did see the moon too, so I feel like they are having anxiety. We have infinity, soul connection. So whether this is talking about the twin flame or talking about maybe the karmic person who you bonded with, there's a strong soul tie. You were definitely meant to meet them this lifetime and learn lessons. We have alien, 2 different worlds out there, weird. So this is a synchronicity. What I was feeling about maybe you and this person could be 2 different skin colors, different political affiliations, even though I really don't want to get into that. Maybe you grew up different, like you could be spiritual, this person is Christian, you could be queer, this person is straight. But it's like, as much as you are in opposition to them, they still find you interesting. I do want to use astro alignment, because if we're talking about opposition in that sense, they could be a Capricorn because they're directly across from you. But I also wonder if the Lilith card is going to come out. We have Halo, angels, prayers, blessing, goods, deeds. So the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse because this person, they're not doing in good shape right now. They feel like because you're an earth angel, you're getting good karma, and they miss your energy so bad. But we also have compass, divine intervention, change in direction. So you changed your life, but there's also kind of like, even though Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse, there's still like an energy of destiny here. Don't know if this will apply to the older person, because for some of you, unfortunately, they will pass away this year, or it's a possibility. But the twin flame feels like it's only a matter of time before you and this person come together again. Now, whether it's going to be a solid reunion, that's a completely different story, and that might come out in a different reading. But someone could be plotting right now, meditating with the 4 of Swords. Also, with the nature spirits sending you telepathic energy and synchronicities because they want you to reach out to them, I think. Medium, coeli, midheaven, direction, reputation. We have Uranus, revolution, intention, eccentricity. So that came out, but we also have Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So for some of you, this person could be in Aquarius, or you can have Aquarius placements. Innovative, rational, humanitarian. The humanitarian word is sticking out to me the most right now. As far as medium coeli, with that word reputation, I just feel like some of you have a reputation, whether it's being a good CNA or being a good nurse, or back to the sex worker energy, maybe you have a reputation for being highly preferred. We have Saturn, discipline, obstacles, boundaries. So I'm feeling a lot of Capricorn energy, even though the Devil card or anything like that didn't come out. Uh, Saturn is Capricorn's ruler, and with obstacles and boundaries, I definitely feel like that is significant. Maybe you have an Aquarius in Saturn, or someone could have Scorpio, deep, intense, transformative. Your twin flame or this older person could be a Scorpio. And that would explain why the bond is very intense too, because Cancers and Scorpios are both water signs. They're both very intensely empathetic or spiritual signs. Cancers are more on the nurturing, moody side. Scorpios are known for being moody too, but it's more so like an intense, like dark energy, like emo, which explains all this anxiety and fear and stuff, all this supernatural stuff that's happening. At the bottom of the deck, we have third quarter moon, breakdown, readjustment, forgiveness. You know, you could forgive someone but not have them in your life anymore. I don't even know if I'm showing up on camera because there's a glare. But that's all that I have for you guys right now. Hopefully you got something out of the reading. Please follow me on all of my social media platforms, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the 60